30 years ago, Logica was born as an initiative to introduce high standards, innovation, and best practices in the supply chain of Colombia and Latin America. In those years, Logica was a company that performed training, business intelligence, and consulting projects in supply chain and logistics. However, to increase the impact in Colombia and in the region, Logica had to be able to generate and transfer knowledge via research and development and in supply chain management and logistics in an impartial and unbiased way.
I'm Yossi Shefi. I'm a professor of engineering systems at MIT and the director of the MIT Center for Transportation and Logistics. We started thinking about Latin America a few years before we got together with Logica and then CLI. The idea was that the whole continent, if you talk about the whole Central and South America, has many logistic challenges. And we thought it will be very important to get a center, somewhere in Latin America that can serve Latin America in terms of increasing the level of logistics know-how throughout the continent.
Hello, my name is Isabela Gudelo. I am the director of CLI, the Center for Latin American Logistics Innovation in Bogota. CLI is a partnership between Logica Research, a nonprofit foundation, and the MIT Center for Transportation and Logistics. CLI started as a dream back in 2007. Defining that MIT CTL's approach to applied research was a good fit for us, so we visited MIT and we ended up having an agreement that we signed in March 2008. We started to design the center with the support of Yossi Shefi, the director of MIT CTL, and in particular, with the support of Edgar Blanco, a Colombian researcher in the team of CTL, that actually was our main contact, our main source of information, our main source of promoting relationships and trying to connect, Logica with MIT CTL. Other partners that we have are the academic partners. So in 2008, we traveled with Edgar Blanco at that time all over the region in order to identify universities we were looking for universities that were committed to applied research and that they were committed to logistics. By the end of the first 2 years of the center, with a network of 22 universities.
One of the unique things about CLI and about the center in Bogota is that it was funded by industry. So from the very beginning, it was very connected with industry. In every other center that started as a purely academic center, we had to work to connect with industry, and with varying degrees of success. Outside the United States, in Europe, in Asia, there's much less of a tradition of industry working directly with universities and funding universities. So by the very fact that the whole center was originally funded by industry, a lot of the knowledge was able to flow industry more easily and in a fluid fashion, rather than having to sell industry one by one. And the fact that some very large multi-Latina companies became partners of CLI helped bring other companies along and help increase the interest in what we were doing in Latin America in the first place.
With this, Logica opened the doors to a revolutionary knowledge to Colombia and the region by providing results thanks to the collaboration of the stakeholders and being a meeting point for all of them, as Logica's motto and vision and mission highlight.
So with the support of Edgar, the first years, we dedicated, our activities to three main things. To create a research agenda for the center, that was one of the main goals. To attract private and public companies to be members of the center, and to start, our working in terms of logistics education.
In June 2008, the first research line about sustainability in supply chain management became one of the main pillars in the research projects, and by the end of the year, CLI was recognized as a Center of Technological Development of Colciencias, the Colombian Science Foundation. The rest of 2008 was shaped with new agreements around various universities from all over the region to leverage the educational initiatives and research for the region. In addition, some companies saw the value of this initiative and the opportunity to boost their growth and innovation.
because we wanted to raise the level of know-how throughout the continent, we did not want just to create a center, a one university in Colombia or anywhere else for that matter, that will give degree at that location. Instead, we wanted to contract and get together with dozens of other universities throughout Latin America and work with all of them to increase the level of logistics education throughout the continent.
To address the education component, MIT CTL and CLI agreed on offering the Graduate Certificate in Logistics and Supply Chain Management, also known as GCLOG program, but not a graduate degree.
So instead of just giving degree to 20, 30, 40 people every year, we work with all these universities. We take the best and the brightest from all of them, bring them to MIT several times a year, twice a year. We work with them throughout the year with CLI and with the MIT researchers to give them extra on their existing education, on the masters that they get from the existing university, to give them some of the MIT flavor of logistics education.
New agreements with several excellent universities of the region were created in order to leverage the educational and research initiatives. As this was taking place, several companies saw the value of this initiative and the opportunity to boost their growth and innovation. And like this, a network of corporate and academic partners that were committed to create change and impact was born. These two networks were the fundamental pillars to achieve the main goals of CLI.
In the 10 years that the center has been living, more than 120 projects with the strategic partners and with some public institution and multilateral institutions. And the group of universities is starting to meet because we thought that to be able to have one event per year where the universities they can come once in Bogota and or 1 year in Bogota and the other year in MIT, to have this group together to be able to present each one of them what they do, the opportunities that they see, how good are they doing in terms of research, sharing techniques on how to teach, to come up with this idea of having every 2 years a proper academic event of the network to be able to show the world that the quality of research that we do in Latin America is worthwhile.
In 2012 and 2013, the transition of the GCLOG program from CLI to MIT CTL occurred with the aim to look centralizing efforts in Boston and provide access to the program to students from other emerging markets in the future.
My name is Roberto Perez Franco. I was the second director of the GCLOG program between June 2011 and January 2016. Halfway through my second cohort, I had the idea of bringing the GCLOG to Boston. Most students were flying into Bogota anyway, so it was relatively easy for them to just fly into another city. Turns out this was a great idea. It allowed us to double the class size, the tuition, and the financial aid given to students, and almost triple the number of instructors and the variety of classes. More importantly, this allowed me to replicate in the GCLOG the same experience that I had lived as a master's student at MIT. The long hours, the frantic pace, what we called at MIT drinking from the fire hose. There are now hundreds of GCLOG graduates throughout Latin America, innovating, problem solving, helping the economy of the whole region, and building a better future.
In addition, new research areas were being born related to trending topics such as RFID, megacity logistics, and public policy in logistics. We created new friendships and new challenges and got to publish various academic articles in prestigious international journals by highlighting the difference to distribute and perform supply chain management in emerging markets.
What we have today is 3 research tracks that are very technology-oriented, technology-driven. The first one is sustainable value networks. The second research topic is strategy and value network risk management. And research track number 3 It's a mixture of megacity logistics and logistics public policy. The other program that we have, it is a very recent program that we call UCLOG, the Undergraduate Certificate in Logistics and Supply Chain Management. Started the program in 2017 with a cohort of 18 students, and we plan to continue, offering this program to the students in the region.
More than 200 organizations have been benefited, and the network currently has 28 academic partners and 13 founding private organizations. 21 scientific papers and 10 book chapters that have been published, and Logica has attended and participated as speaker in more than 50 national and international scientific events. Lectures and courses have been prepared for academic partners in undergraduate and graduate programs. More than 60 executive education programs have been run with over 3,000 people enrolled in free education programs. In addition, CLI has been able to advise over 20 undergrad and graduate theses from academic partners, graduated over 270 GCLOG students, and created an undergraduate certificate in logistics and supply chain management, which will be known as UCLOG, graduating 18 students from the first line.
So in the future, of course, this is 2018 is CLI's 10th anniversary. In my vision, we want to continue working in applied research projects. We feel that, again, Colombia, Latin America, and emerging markets, there are so many things to offer. There are so many questions that haven't been answered. We want to to have more PhDs working with us, offer more quality, and to be able to publish even more the results of our projects.
Think about the future of CLI. We think that several things are taking place. First of all, the logistics challenges in Latin America are not getting smaller, they're getting bigger. Even though countries are building better infrastructure, starting to understand the value of logistics and supply chain management in terms of trading and growth of GDP and the ability to bring economic growth to their people, the challenges are still growing because the market is moving ever faster. We have unique challenges in Latin America in terms of government ability to help and influence the trading, the logistics, industrial sector in general. So the challenges still exist. At the same time, there's a huge increase in the ability of technology to offer solutions that were not there before. Many other innovations will impact Latin America as much as they impact everywhere else in the world. But if the knowledge, if the right engineering talent is not going to exist, Latin America in general is just going to fall further behind. So we come back to the value of educating good engineering talent in logistics and supply chain management. And the role of CLI will just grow over these years because of the growing challenges and the growing ability of technology to tackle these challenges.
Y lo que queremos es encontrar nuevas maneras y nuevas formas de seguir acrecentando las posibilidades de investigar más. Tenemos retos por delante muy complejos, como por ejemplo la aspiración no cumplida de crear un equipo de PhDs al interior de Logica. Y necesitamos, y es un reto vivo, encontrar nuevas maneras de hacerlo para seguir avanzando en esa aspiración y poder seguir fortaleciendo nuestras capacidades de investigación, que obviamente tienen la dificultad o el reto especial de poderlo hacer desde una organización que no es académica, y realmente pues casi toda la investigación que se hace, o una buena parte de esa investigación que se hace, al menos en nuestros países, desde las perspectivas académicas. Y lo nuestro es una iniciativa privada que queremos seguir fortaleciendo con la ayuda de todos ustedes. Es seguir invirtiendo en investigación, seguir acrecentando sus capacidades, seguir trabajando con la mano y con el liderazgo de MIT, especialmente del CTL, entidad de la cual nos sentimos muy agradecidos en todo lo que nos ha apoyado y nos sentimos muy orgullosos de poder trabajar de la mano de todos ustedes desarrollando la logística en las economías emergentes, especialmente en nuestro país Colombia y en nuestra región Latinoamérica. Muchas gracias.
Congratulations to CLI for the 10-year anniversary, for doing great work, and we all anticipate even greater work in the future.
Congratulations to CLI for 10 years of making a strong impact in Latin America. It's been my pleasure to work with the center in Colombia as well as the partners throughout Latin America for the last 4 years. Good luck in the future, and I look forward to collaborating with you even more.
Congratulations for 10 years in innovation in logistics and supply chain management in Latin America. We are very happy to collaborate with you, and we look forward for the future.